The Tom and Doug Show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Doug. How are you doing? How are you doing here?
I want to ask you to revisit a topic that you had us discuss.
You're not going to make me eat more Chinese fortune cookies.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm also not going to get my daughter to dig things out of the basement and pour them in a cup and make you eat them.
Oh yeah, and remember the fruitcake episode? That was bad.
Oh, man.
I'm worried whether those fruitcakes are still there underneath your couch, eaten by mice or
I
something.
think they're keeping it level. No, even scarier than that. I want to talk about vulnerability.
Again?
Yes.
All right, let's talk about vulnerability.
If I recall, last time we discussed it,
Yes.
we said a couple things. We talked about how it's perhaps a type of wisdom to recognize that you can't control everything.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about there seems to be some relationship between vulnerability and trust.
Yeah, there certainly does seem to be that. It has little to do with bowling.
Okay. Well, we talked about the invulnerability part of it too.
Yeah.
That I thought, there's more we could say about this.
Really? You've been thinking more about this. I can tell.
So, what is it that it has to do with trust? If you're trying to make yourself vulnerable.
No. You never want to make yourself vulnerable.
I think that's how we ended the last show. And
Yeah.
that's what made me think, well, maybe there's more to say here. If you really never make yourself vulnerable, you think you know everything, and you really close yourself off to lots of opportunities for growth.
But if you could have growth and have opportunities without being vulnerable, I'm all for that.
Okay. I think you've hit on what the problem that needs to be solved in
Okay.
your advertisement.
Yeah.
So we'll create an advertisement for vulnerability.
Okay, let's do it. Yep,
Okay.
yep.
So where should we start?
Really pretty women in the advertisement.
Okay.
Let's start with that
Okay.
one.
All right. So here's the song. We'll go find some pretty women.
Okay. All of me. Why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I want to lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? Why not take all of me? Oh, can't you see? I'm no good without you. Take my lips, I want to lose them. Take my eyes, I'll never use them. Oh, your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. Now how can I go on, dear, without you? You know that you took the part that once was my heart. So why not take all of, oh, why not take all of, why not take all of me?
Thomas Florek.
Hi, everybody. We're back.
So many times, if you were going to create an advertisement, you need to think about like, what are the benefits of using your product?
Right.
Right. So what would the benefits of being more vulnerable?
There are no benefits.
Okay. So that's something we have to, so then we manufacture benefits.
Okay, that's good.
Might it make you live life to the fullest?
Yeah, that's good because there's no such thing as the fullest or the half full. I want to be the half fullest. Right? There's no real, because I think that's safe to say. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good one.
So that's good. You also might want to make it new and improved because people who've tried vulnerability in the past found that it's kind of scary and
Oh,
painful,
that's a good
right?
idea. Yeah,
So-
yeah.
So,
So if
now
it burned you last time, it ain't going to burn you this time. We
Right.
took the acid out of it.
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah, now it's mild.
Yeah, it's mild vulnerability. Yeah.
With XK29 added.
I think that's good. Yeah, that works. Yeah.
Okay, good. Should we play another song
Yeah,
while we
yeah.
plan some more?
This is such a very, very long now, a moment that won't end. Some moments you want to last and slip right by. Some moments you want to end and they won't go away. Like the nowhere to go. When I'm finally dressed up, like the silence after the joke. I tried to tell but messed up. But as sure as this night slips away with what the daylight brings, life's too long to worry about short things. There's a hole in my guitar. It's a hollow body and nothing inside. Sometimes I look and I can't imagine what it's for. Sometimes I breathe, I can't recall what's happened before. When I strum this guitar, it feels like something I can't define. But there's an empty space in the middle. It's there all the time. But the hole's only there to bring life to the vibrating strings. Life's too long to worry about short things. launched off the cliff. When I start to fall, I think it all goes so fast. But when I look around, I see broken glass. But the pieces fall with the slowness as if they all had wings. Life's too long to worry about short things.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We're here talking about our new product line, which is vulnerability. Trying to sell this to you. I don't know why, but we're trying to sell this to you.
But see, that's true about almost every product out there.
Well, no, it's other products you doing it to make money.
Well, if we're successful at this, maybe we could make some money.
Oh, so we have our own brand of vulnerability.
yeah.
Tom and Doug brand of vulnerability.
No,
Nobody's going to buy that.
That's interesting because my guess is the Tom brand of vulnerability is very different from the Doug brand of
Yeah,
vulnerability.
it's a kind of a different kind of. I guess maybe you have like a 6-pack, and like half of them, like 3 of them are Toms and 3 of them are Dougs.
Oh, so yeah, so you have to mix it in the proper proportions. I like that.
Well, with those flavors, maybe we should talk about what those flavors are. And I understand what the Tom vulnerability is, which is just give up all hope. Because in a way, that's a kind of
It
vulnerability.
is a kind of vulnerability, yeah.
You've accepted the worst possible outcome.
Man, that puts me in a really tough position, Tom, because you've taken the funniest one.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And, mine is way too serious for this show. Hi, we're back.
Hi, we are so back.
Tom, tell me a time when you recognized that you were being vulnerable and you couldn't stop it.
You know, there's some sort of exhibitionist pleasure in being vulnerable. Sometimes it almost makes you feel like your life matters in some weird way if you've sort of exposed all of your vulnerabilities to the world.
So there's another product benefit.
Yeah, it's all sexy time. Yeah, that's what it is.
So it enhances your sex life.
No, quite the opposite.
But see, your imagined sex
Yes,
life is
exactly.
part of your sex life.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true.
See,
Yeah.
that's
You're
a
absolutely
product
true.
benefit.
Yeah.
So the Doug brand, I think, one of the benefits is that it gives me license to say things I probably shouldn't.
Okay.
So, for example, I was at a professional conference, and there was a professional colleague of mine from a very good university at this conference. And she happens to be a Facebook friend of mine. So I read
Okay.
her Facebook feed, whenever it pops up. And she's pretty prolific on it, actually.
Right.
And she's really freaking funny and smart. And so I have just formed this insane crush on her because I know it's a terrible thing to say in this culture, because of her personality.
Oh my gosh.
And so she was standing by her professional presentation, and I walked up to her and said, I just have this insane crush on you from all the things that you post on, on Facebook. She said, well, why don't you ever, say something about it on Facebook? I said, because that wouldn't be appropriate.
That's an interesting thing you brought up. Can you be vulnerable online in social media? And in some ways, it almost seems unwise. That vulnerability maybe is something that should be best practice in person.
Well, I think that makes sense because the other person, partly, we all know this about the difference between in-person and mediated. You give so many more signals in person with your body language and your facial expression,
Right.
and all those things that me saying this to her in person, I thought I could do in a way that would not feel threatening. Whereas if I posted it on her feed, then she doesn't know what to make of it, right? And that seems much more threatening, even though I may feel like I'm expressing exactly the same thing in both contexts.
Right, but they're different things.
So the benefit here is that you can be honest when you shouldn't.
I'll buy that. That's a good benefit. We'll ka-ching that one.
Okay.
So we'll come back and we'll talk about this a little bit later.
Listen, we did our little tribute to Chuck Berry earlier. We did our other little tribute to Chuck Barris, who also passed away this week. Of course, Chuck Barris from The Gong Show. My very favorite act, or second favorite act from The Gong Show, was this song. This incredible song, which is a dance song. I'm hoping the dancers will join me out here. It's a dance song, and it goes like this. Here's a song singing for you. All the woman you know it's true. It's a dance you'll be through. You're the one that goes for you. You're the one that's got to be free. You're the one that goes like that song, making my dreams come true.
So, Tom, there's one thing we haven't thought about yet, which is we need a brand name.
Yes.
But I've got one.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Thank you.
You ready?
Yep.
Shall we just launch into the
I wanna
commercial?
hear this,
Okay.
yeah.
Are you feeling tired and run down? Anxious about the future? Worried about finances, your relationship, job, weight, health, and water damage? That's because you've been stuck using the old vulnerability. Our scientists have reduced the acidity from over-the-counter vulnerability, which has been proven to be harsh and always results in death. Our mild formula has secret ingredient XK29 added, which soothes the sore throat from swallowing the old bloated vulnerability. It gives you the confidence and permission to do all the stupid things you probably shouldn't. That's why we call it Vulneragility. Now in 2 strengths, Tom or Doug. Living life to the fullest, or the half fullest. Your choice, Vulneragility. For a limited time, it comes in a 2-pack prepackaged with Tom and Doug brand name Regret.
Wow. Sign me up. I want to buy that.
All right. So go on out to facebook.com/Tom and Doug and tell us, we still need to figure out what the packaging should look like.
Yeah, all that stuff.
And so give us your opinions about Vulneragility.
Yeah, Vulneragility. That it's going to make a dent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We want to welcome you and thank you for listening to the end of our show.
Yes, the end of our show is the best part, according to our surveys at any rate.
Yes.
Tom and Doug, setting the bar low since